Hello, good morning. How are you? Welcome to class number 1140. 1140. And let's continue where we left off yesterday with Natasha Zarakovich. This is the last episode of Natasha. Yeah. My book is falling apart. My book is falling apart. Too much usage. Escucha, demasiado uso o utilización, demasiado uso. Escuchad. Too much use. Fijaos en la pronunciación de use. Use. Porque el verbo usar es use. Se escribe igual, use. Se pronuncia use. I use. Uso este libro a menudo. I use Zaragoza, Susana. I use this book every day. No, every day, almost every day. Now, el uso de este libro, que también se escribe, repito, use. The use. Use. Totally different pronunciation. Yes. Too much use, demasiado uso. Pero también so too much usage, usaje. Mucho usaje. Too much usage. Usage. Okay, my book is falling apart. To fall apart. To fall apart. Yes, caer en pedazos. To fall apart. Pero le tengo un cariño. I have a special affection for this book because of the people. The people in this book. Yes. Luigi Barghini, Lee Tong, Aki Morita, Natasha Zarakovich, Paula Eisenbach, Philip Johnson, Nancy Johnson, Denise Johnson, and Michael Johnson, Nigel Perkins, Ronnie Perkins. Me faltan. Uy, pobrecitos, los que se me olvidan. Of course, Anna Barghini, Carl Polster, in addition to Luigi Barghini. I think that's it. My God. Pierre Monet and Francois Monet and Inés Garcia, La Sevillanita. So, a lot of different... these are my people. I created them. And so they are part of me. Tienen mi ADN. They have my DNA. Okay, but today, hasta rima, we're going to finish the saga of Natasha Zarakovich. Today she's in London. You remember, her cousin Andrei bought her a ticket to fly from Moscow to London to Edinburgh. And now she spent 2 weeks from the 22nd to the 3rd, from the 22nd of December to the 3rd of January. And now it's the 2nd, I think it's the 2nd of January, or the 1st of January, New Year's Day. And they're having lunch, I think, lunch or dinner, in London. Yes, probably in an Italian restaurant, I don't know. Escucha las dos primeras frases. Natasha Zarakovich will be leaving London for Moscow tomorrow morning. She'll be flying British Airways. Okay, what's interesting about these two sentences? I'm using the future perfect, futuro perfecto. She'll be leaving. Se estará marchando, literalmente, estará saliendo de Londres. Para Moscú mañana por mañana. También se puede decir, she'll leave. Natasha Zarakovich will leave London tomorrow morning for Moscow. She will fly British Airways. Curioso que cuando voy a volar Iberia, no decimos normalmente voy a volar en Iberia o Lufthansa in American Airlines. Voy a volar Lufthansa. I'm going to fly Lufthansa. I'm going to fly Iberia. I'm going to fly British Airways. I'm going to fly American Airlines. I'm going to fly Alitalia. Natasha Zerakovich will be leaving. Repito, will leave is perfect. But it's very aséptico. It's very aseptic. She will leave. Que conste en acta. She will leave. Es un dato. But she'll be leaving is more personal. It's interesting, and I can't explain why we go to the future perfect. Natasha, future perfect, no. Borra, the future continuous. ¿Qué digo yo? Futuro perfecto es habrá ido. Para finales de este año yo habré dado X número de clases. Eso es futuro perfecto. By the end of this year, I will have. Siempre con will have. Taught so many classes. This is a future continuous. My apologies. Natasha Zerakovich will be leaving London for Moscow tomorrow morning. She'll be flying British Airways. She and her cousin Andre have spent the last 2 days in London. Okay, so this is her last full day in London. Tomorrow, she will go to Heathrow Airport and fly back to Russia. All right. Yes, but they've spent the last 2 days in London, so they came down from Edinburgh to London. So apparently, Andre, when he made the reservations for Natasha, originally, he made reservations for a flight from Moscow to London and London to Edinburgh. But the return flight, he didn't make reservations for Edinburgh, London, because they went by train to London. And so he made a flight from London back to Moscow. All right. So she and her cousin Andre have spent the last 2 days in London seeing the sights and going to the theater. Seeing the sights. Han pasado los últimos 2 días viendo I don't know, los hitos turísticos, okay, the sights. O sea, viendo las vistas, literalmente. A sight is la vista, eyesight. He perdido la vista, I have lost my sight. Yes. But the sights in Madrid, Cibeles, Plaza Mayor, the Prado, Palacio Real, these are the most common, most popular sights in Madrid. To go sightseeing. Yes, hacer turismo. O sea, ir viendo las vistas. Pero no es una vista panorámica. Pero también puede ser, what a beautiful sight. Yes. If you go to Ronda, Marta has never been to Ronda. She's from Seville, living for many, many years in Seville, and she's never been to Ronda. Te mato. Tienes que, tus deberes for this summer is to go to Ronda. And next September she will give me her report on her impressions of Ronda. All right. Spend 1 night there. All right. So, with Victor and with your husband, Javi. Right, okay. All right. I still have a good memory. All right, at my old age. So, they've spent the last 2 days in London seeing the sights and going to the theater. Last night they've seen 2 musicals. We say the West End, in el extremo oeste. The West End, the word West End is the word used for the theater district in London. For example, in New York City, of course, the theater district is called Broadway. Ver algo en Broadway, to see something in Broadway. But in London, to see something in the West End. And so they went to 2 musicals. The night before last, they saw Beauty and the Beast. La Bella y la Bestia. Que está mal traducido en español. No es La Bella y la Bestia. No. Es Bella y la Bestia. because the name of the protagonist is Beauty. That's her name. So it's como Richard y la Bestia, Marta y la Bestia. No, La Marta y la Bestia. Okay. So it's Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. And she was very impressed with the choreography, the staging, just everything. The background, the costumes, costumbres, con vestuario de teatral, the costumes and everything. However, that was the night before last. Last night, she saw the Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera is here. Yes, last night they saw, ellos vieron, the Phantom of the Opera. Natasha couldn't believe how good the play was. Fijaos el verbo al final. No podía creer how good, cuán buena era la obra. O sea, cuán la obra era, it's impossible to translate it. Cuán la obra, how good, cuán buena la obra era. Okay, toma. How good the play was. She couldn't believe how good the play was. Yes. The night before, she had seen, pluscuamperfecto había visto, she had seen Beauty and the Beast the night before, and she thought that nothing could surpass it. She said, "Oh, Andre, 2 nights ago, what a beautiful play, Beauty and the Beast. Nothing can surpass it. Nothing can surpass el sorpaso. Nothing can surpass it." However, the following evening, she saw the Phantom of the Opera, and it surpassed, in her opinion, it surpassed Beauty and the Beast. Okay, yes. The Phantom surpassed it in musical quality and stage scenery. Carrera musical y escenario teatral. Stage scenery, decorado. Stage scenery. Scenery es escenario. De scene es una escena. Escrito scene. Scene. Scenery is el decorado teatral. That's the scenery. Lo que ves al fondo. All right, el panorama. La panorámica. All right. It surpassed it in musical quality and stage scenery. It seemed incredible to her how the stage could change to accommodate almost anything imaginable. Have you seen Phantom of the Opera? No? Okay. There's a moment where he's going por el agua. You know, the boat, and he's with a pole, estos postes grandes, palos grandes, largos, to push the boat. And there is fog, niebla, and you can't see the boat, but he's moving along the stage, and the girl is in the boat under his spell, bajo su hechizo. Spell, como deletrear, spell, también es un hechizo, a spell. Romper el hechizo, to break the spell. The Phantom of the Opera, etc. Okay. The Phantom surpassed it in musical quality and stage scenery. Stage is escenario, físico, teatral. Stage. Miedo escénico, que mucha gente sufre. A lot of people suffer stage fright. To frighten is asustar. No me asuste. No me asustes. Don't frighten me. Don't scare me. Pero quitas la en, frighten, tenemos fright. Y eso es miedo. Fright. Yes. Fear. Fright. Yes. Susto. So, stage fright. Do you suffer stage fright? Do you suffer stage fright? Sí, tiene miedo escénico. Yeah. Listen, before we finish, on program number 1200, You have to come back. I don't remember, what was it? 8,000. ¿El programa 1000 era? Oh, no, 800. She came. Program 600. She came on program 600. Oh, no, perfect. 600, 1,200. Okay, so she'll come back and say hello. All right. In English or in Spanish? In Andaluz. All right. She'll say in Andaluz. Okay. But in any case, so it seemed incredible to her. It seemed incredible to her how the stage could change. Cómo el escenario podía cambiar para acomodar lo que fuera. How the stage could change to accommodate almost anything imaginable. All right. But in Moscow, you have the Bolshoi Ballet. It's incredible. Maybe Natasha has never been to the Bolshoi in Moscow, but it's incredible as well. Russia produces incredible works of theater art, opera, and ballet, and musicals. Yes. And Spain too. Yeah. The musicals in Spain are very good as well. All right, so, yes, after the show, after the Phantom of the Opera, in the theater lobby, el vestíbulo del teatro, the theater, el lobby, se dice lobby ahora, de un hotel, in the lobby. Voy a bajar a hacer el checkout en el lobby. Okay. Voy a bajar a hacer registrar mi salida en el vestíbulo del hotel. All right. You could say it in Spanish, but the English language is slowly penetrating. And in 2 generations, people in Spain will be bilingual, but not bilingual Catalan-Castellano or Spanish. It'll be bilingual Spanish-English. Yes. Victor será bilingüe a los 23, I guess. Yeah, más te vale. All right, you'd better. Yeah, because now Victor is 7, right? 7. So you have 16 years to solve this question. All right? Is 16 years enough time to solve a problem? I think so. Yes. Sin prisa, pero sin pausa. Slowly but surely. All right. But in any case, after the show, in the theater lobby, she bought a CD. Todavía se venden CDs. She bought a CD with the soundtrack of the play. Yes. She didn't have a CD player in Moscow. So she bought a CD. Oh, look. They were selling the soundtrack of the Phantom of the Opera. And she bought it, knowing that in Moscow she didn't have a CD player. All right? Un lector de CDs in Moscow. But she had already decided to save up to buy one. She had... Ahora sí que va, ¿ves? But she had already decided to save up to buy one. She had already decided to save up to buy one. She had okay. After the play, after the musical, she saw in the lobby of the theater that they were selling CDs. Say this, CDs with the soundtrack, la banda sonora, the soundtrack. Track is una pista. Pista sonora, decimos en inglés. Sonora pista. Soundtrack. The soundtrack of the play. And she decided to buy it, knowing that in Moscow, the family didn't have a CD player. I mean, why buy a CD if you don't have a CD player at home? But she had already, pues con perfecto, ya había decidido, she had already decided to save up for one. To save up for one. To save is ahorrar. To save. Es recomendable ahorrar dinero. It's recommendable to save money. It's a good habit to develop. Yes, to frugal with your money, to save money. Now, to save up for is different. Well, it's similar. To save up for es ahorrar puntualmente para hacer una compra. To save up for. Entonces, voy a ahorrar un poquito de dinero para comprar un lector de CDs. All right. So she had already decided to save up for a CD player. All right. Yes. This morning, that was an hoy. Andre took her to Harrods. Harrods. ¿Te suena, no? Yes, it's del Corte Inglés de Londres, but it's more spectacular. All right. Yes. This morning, Andre took her to Harrods, one of the best department stores in London. Department store is the common word in the United States for grandes almacenes, tipo Corte Inglés. All right. They spent 2 hours walking around the store, looking at things. Natasha bought a scarf for her mother and a Game Boy for her brother. All right. She bought a scarf. Scarf es una bufanda. Scarf. Scar, si quitas la F, scar is cicatriz. I have a scar somewhere, scar. Yes. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Star is estrella. But when my daughter was a little girl, con lengua de trapo en inglés, she said, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Pequeña cicatriz. No, pequeña estrella. Cicatricita. All right. So, but con añades F a cicatriz, scarf. Then we have bufanda. Siempre llevo bufanda para ocultar una cicatriz. I always wear a scarf to hide a scar. All right, scarf. So, in Harrods, she bought 2 things. She bought a scarf for her mother and a Game Boy. All right. Does Victor have a Game Boy? Yeah. Or similar? Yeah. For her brother. All right. Andre bought her a Walkman CD player. Ande, ya está. Problema resuelto. Yeah. Un Walkman, just walking. So Andre bought her a Walkman CD player and probably a year's supply of batteries. Suministro anual de pilas. Maybe Andre thinks in Moscow it's more difficult to get batteries. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so later in the evening, they had dinner in a nice Italian restaurant with the best wine Andre could afford. Mejor vino que podría permitir, el bueno de Andre. The best wine Andre could afford. I can't afford Bega Sicilia. No, it's too expensive. Pingus, it's 700 euros. It's too expensive. I can't afford to order Pingus or Bega Sicilia in a restaurant. They're too expensive. I don't have enough money. I can't afford it. Con doble F, afford. Es permitirse el lujo. Es poder sufragar un gasto también. I can't afford. No puedo permitirme ya vivir en esta ciudad. Se ha encarecido. Yes. Madrid is getting more and more expensive. I can't afford to live in Madrid. I can't afford to live in the city. I need to move to the bedroom communities outside of the city. Yes, because I can't afford to live in the city. The prices are too high. The rents are too high. So I can't afford it. And last night they went to an Italian restaurant. And Andre ordered the best wine he could afford. He was looking at the price. 30 euros, no, 22 euros, okay. And he bought a bottle of wine. All right. Natasha, okay, they spent 2.5 hours. Jesus Christ. El Jesucristo, se dice en inglés, Jesus Christ means, anda. ¿Será posible? Se dice así. Jesus Christ. They spent 2.5 hours in the restaurant. Yeah. You know, I remember the first time I went to London with my future wife. We got married in December 1977. But during Semana Santa, during Holy Week, Easter, 1977, I took her to London for 1 week. And the first night, we went to an Italian restaurant. And in a table next to us, there was an Englishman, un Inglés, having dinner alone. And when he called the waiter, que era italiano, he said, La Dolorosa, por favor. That's it. And so he said it in Spanish. So that was our first contact with a restaurant in London in the evening. And that's what he said. I'll come back and finish with Natasha tomorrow and with much more. Take care.